Shunyavadi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Madhav, Radha Shamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Nrsimhadev Bhagwan, Konikai, Tulsi Maranish, Haridas, Sako, Guru Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj in the assembly devotees. So, continuing on from Canto number 4, chapter 26, which is entitled King Puranjan goes to the forest to hunt and his queen becomes angry. So this is an allegory story told by Narad Muni to King Prachinabarhi to demonstrate the futility of material life. So this chapter describes how a person sometimes gives up proper intelligence under the influence of ignorance, tamas, and becomes attached to forbidden objects and activities, and then he regains that discrimination again. So sometimes we can go off the rails, and then we realize, oh, I'm in the wrong direction. Come back again. So Puranjana decided to go hunting. So Puranjana was like a king, had a lot of facilities. He decided to go hunting on a chariot. Can you switch off? Without his queen. He spends time mercilessly killing many animals, making people unhappy to see his ghastly activities. Eventually, he tires of killing and returns home. There are scriptural regulations on animal killing, and if a king is too attached to eating flesh, he may do so. But there are consequences. As per scriptural directions for special Shraddh rites, they can do that. Only animals suitable for sacrifice should be killed, not just any living entity. It should be done only in the forest, only as much as is required. So there is some leeway given to the Kshatriyas for animal killing. Similarly, a jiva is allowed to enjoy the sense objects as much as necessary, but not to the fullest extent. Any learned person who works according to the knowledge of the Vedic scriptures is not contaminated by his activities in their reaction. So one who works according to the Vedas, does his duties, then he is not implicated in the karma. Puranjana's activities, although mundane, also have spiritual consequences, significances. Being hungry and thirsty, he was troubled in remembering his sinful acts. He returned home, so he gave up his sinful acts in establishing his self in Dharma. He took bath, that means he called the Brahmins and then performed atonement. So these activities still have some karmic impact, even though it may be within his right as a king. There's still karmic reaction to face. So he atones for that. He ate suitable food. He gave up meat and liquor. Being refreshed, he took rest. He was somewhat steady. After this, he remembered the queen. Returning to his previous condition, he remembers his intelligence fixed in Dharma. So these activities also show an idea of his mental and spiritual condition. Puranjana then eagerly seeks out his queen, but finds her displeased with him due to his independently having gone out hunting. Puranjana pacifies his wife by flattery and submissive behavior. He begs her to fulfill his lusty desires which have arisen in his heart. Chapter 27. Attack by Chandavega on the city of King Puranjana. The character of Kala Kanya. So this is the name of the chapter. The queen again welcomes her husband's association, and they continue enjoying together for many years. Puranjana is unaware of the meaning of self-realization, being submerged in the mode of ignorance. In this way, King Puranjana, with his heart full of lust and sinful reactions, begins to enjoy with his wife. And in this way, his new life and youth expire in half a moment. When you're enjoying yourself, especially doing things we shouldn't be doing, time flies. And before you know it, time is over. He begets 1,100 sons and 110 daughters with his wife. Then he gets them all married, and thus there are numerous grandchildren. The sons and grandsons plunder Puranjana's wealth and overcrowd the city. Narad points out the similarities between the desires of Puranjana and Prachinabha Prachinabharisat himself. Eventually, old age and imminent death assail Puranjana. This is described figuratively as an attack by enemy soldiers. So this attack is in a figurative sense. So the attack is by time, which is composed in days and nights, by the waxing and the waning phase of the moons. From birth, every day, one's life is stolen by time. These are the different characters that's represented by these different factors. The five-hooded serpent, the life heir, fought with the Gandharvas for 100 years. He fought alone with all of them, although outnumbered. Although anxious due to weakness of the snake, the king continued to engage in sexual indulgence, not understanding that his life was passing away, reaching the point of death. Narad describes Jara, or old age, the daughter of time, Chandavega, who was looking for a husband, but whom no one wants to marry. Once a king called Yayati swapped his old age for his son Puru. And because Puru accepted his father Yayati's, he accepted old age. So Puru was very kind. The other sons of Yayati he asked other sons first, and they said, no, we don't want to give you our youth. You've enjoyed your youth. You're now old man. But he went to Puru, another son of his. Puru said, yeah, okay. He was an obedient son. His father, Yayati, gave him the kingdom. Once she approached Narad, who refused her, and Jara cursed him that he would not be able to stay in one place for a long time. Narad allowed her to approach Yavanraj, or Bhaya, or fear, for marriage. Interesting. Yavanraj tells her that she may become his sister and help his brother Prajvara in his duties, and that the karmis in this world would be her husband. After enjoying them, she would kill them. However, she should not approach the devotees like she couldn't Narad. So, just a little summary. Kalakanya, daughter of time, represents old age, Durbhaga, ill fate. Yavaneshwar Bhaya, fear, represents fear, death, murtyu. Prajvara, Vishnu Jwara, fever sent by Vishnu, two types, cold and hot, typhoid and pneumonia. Soldiers of Yavanraj, disease, Adik Atma, Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Devik. That's right. chapter 28. Yavanraj, so chapter is called Puranjan Becomes Woman in his next life. Yavanraj, his brother Prajvara, and Kalakanya traveled widely. They attacked Puranjana's city and gave the citizens a lot of trouble, severe trouble. The objects of enjoyment become stale by the influence of Kalakanya. Puranjana is conquered and his family and associates turn against him. Yet he is still affectionate towards them and worries about maintaining them. So this happens when you get old. People wonder, oh, okay, when is this old man going to die? He's such a burden on us. Kalakanya smashed the city and Puranjana is forced to leave. Prajvara, so that means his death. Prajvara set fire to the city and all the citizens perished. The snake or the police superintendent is baffled in his desire to leave the city. Puranjana is very anxious regarding his family and their welfare, thinking, alas, my wife is encumbered by so many children. When I pass from this body, how will she be able to maintain all these family members? Alas, she will be greatly harassed by thoughts of family maintenance. Fondly remembering all his personal dealings with his wife, he laments over the fate of his wife and children. The Yavan soldiers drag Puranjana away along with his followers, including the snake. The animals whom Puranjana had killed now take their revenge. So even though he's done Priyaschit, it's not enough. It's not enough. Due to remembering his wife at the time of death, Puranjana becomes Princess Vidarbhi in his next life. She marries King Malayadwaja, and they had 7 sons who ruled the earth, from whom thousands of grandsons were born. They protected the entire world up to the end of one Manu's lifespan and even afterwards. They also had a beautiful daughter, Asitekshana, who married Agastya Muni. Renouncing his kingdom, King Maladvaja goes to the forest to worship Krishna and his wife follows him. He performs severe austerities for 100 demigod years, gradually becoming equal to the duality of cold and heat, happiness and distress, wind and rain, hunger and thirst, the pleasant and the unpleasant. He fixed his mind on Lord Krishna and attains perfect spiritual knowledge from the Supersoul. Vidarbhi, his wife, follows him in his austerity until he left his body. She laments at his departure and burns his body and prepares to enter the fire herself. Figuratively, Maladwaja is a spiritual master and his wife, Vidarbhi, a disciple. When the mortal body of the Guru disappears, the disciple should cry, but will not be separated from the Guru in spite of his physical absence, as long as he follows his instructions. A devoted disciple would rather die with the Guru than fail to execute his mission. So, an old Brahmin friend, this is representing the Supersoul of Puranjana, then approaches the queen. He questions her and reminds her of the eternal relationship which she had forgotten due to material enjoyment. They are like 2 swans living in the same heart for thousands of years, but still far away from their original home. The Brahman, Supersoul, describes the city of the material body and how she, the soul, has been bewildered by it. The soul is a person, an enjoyer in reality. But because she is now hidden within the city of the body, she is void of knowledge. Due to our material conceptions, we are pleased in various miserable conditions. He continues to explain the factual position of the soul in the illusory energy and the role of the Supersoul. So this is really good for us. Both the soul and the super soul are spiritual. They are compared to two swans. One is the instructor, and the other is the instructed. The Supreme Lord is full, powerful, opulent, is eternally uncontaminated by Maya. And the conditioned soul, however, is contaminated, being in contact with material nature, forgetting his real identity. When the one swan is instructed by the other, he is situated in his constitutional position, Krishna consciousness. So this Bhagavatam is also acting like our super soul, giving us guidance, especially these pastimes which Narad Muni is explaining to King Prachina Bharhi Sani or Sina. So it's very important to try to understand these instructions, and in time, in due course of time, to put them in some practice, understand them, turn them into wisdom. Otherwise, we are going to be stuck in this cycle of birth and death. And now is our opportunity to come out of this cycle of birth and death, because we've come across the highest possible philosophy. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, let's stop there. We can continue hopefully tomorrow. So, Srimad Bhagavad Puran ki jai.